How far would you go to protect your children? At 37, single dad Tyler saw his world completely fall apart after a painful divorce. Once a successful car salesman, he now spends his days under a blistering 100-degree sun, hauling scrap metal, his skin raw and sunburned. To keep his two middle, school kids in class, he gets no more than 5 hours of sleep a night. Junk hauling by day, selling beer at a night market till late. Exhaustion and endless physical labor have turned him into a walking shell of himself. What does a day in his shoes really look like? Let us step into Tyler's world. It's the middle of summer here in Henan, central China. I arranged to meet Tyler at 9 this morning. But even standing here in the shade, the stifling heat has me completely drenched in sweat.
哎呦我操，热呀！能不热啊？这都在干。几点起来了？昨天晚上卖酒卖到4点，起来都10点了。卖到4点。4点还有人喝酒了？有啊。
The heat today is intense, not a breath of wind in the air. It feels like standing inside a giant steamer. Yet even in weather like this, Tyler has no choice but to work under the blazing sun. We're at a local hardware market, home to hundreds of vendors selling all kinds of tools and parts. And every single day, it generates piles of cardboard boxes. Tyler's job is to go shop to shop, collecting their leftover cardboard and haul it to the recycling yard to pocket a tiny margin. For the shopkeepers, hauling these boxes themselves isn't worth the trouble. It takes up too much time, pays very little, and cluttering up their stores with trash just steals precious space. So most of them prefer to rely on Tyler. All they have to do is toss the cardboard outside their door, and Tyler handles the rest sorting, weighing, and paying them right on the spot.
这些纸箱给了他多少钱？34。这有多少斤啊？50多斤。6毛钱一斤。哦。
In China, junk recycling is almost exclusively done by people in their 50s and older. So seeing a young guy in his 30s like Tyler in this line of work, honestly, it leaves a lot of people scratching their heads.
你干多少年了？2、3年了。咋回事？开始干这？一开始卖这个汽车嘛，销售。自从离婚嘛，卖销售不上班，现在洗个牙，躺平，啥也不想干，然后没事夜觉不想找活，他就干这了，然后我都跟着他干这了。
The divorce 3 years ago hit Tyler hard. As for what actually happened, he'll share that with us later in the video. But what truly haunts him is the lingering hurt it caused his kids. It's a painful period he rarely brings himself to talk about. So, to piece that story together, we spoke with Tyler's mother. Here is her take on those painful memories they'd all rather forget.
我那个孙儿你不知道？
孙儿好像是。
我那个孙女儿没事儿，没那他心里没事儿，就俺那个孙儿。头几年都给养育了，然后你不知道，也不坑也不抓，得了也抑郁了，也不坑人也不抓，给学校里学习，也不拿也不说也不抓嘞，我成天那2年成天，一星期都带着他骑个3轮车带着跑这跑那，就那也不着，不嘞一回来，一接触他，那脸都不紫那给他那都没好都没效果，一说小你给小时又咋着了？那越是这个，人家还光欺负他，那跟着一个人家闺女都欺负他。
离婚之前不是这样的小。
离婚前不这个样，离婚前给高去哪都高高兴兴的。
那孙儿
盯着7、8婚，那今年你不也不说话了，也不抓了，也不坑人了，得这慢慢的得这去前年个那边。
慢慢变好。
去前年个。现在还多少说话了嘞？那嘞就是说话这一说咋着都没法了，都爆发了。 都爆发了，都来，哎，就这个都气的都没法了。你不知道我这孩子再报废了吧？我说的，真弄的，我说这，你看这养育，这咋弄？这一鱼了，我说这，也不吭气，也不知道，有点小给你买点吃吧，你说买啥吃呗？哎，到根本就没那法，讨厌，一颗苦不给孩子。
Another reason Tyler stuck with junk recycling is flexibility. If his kids need him, he can drop everything and be there in a flash. Once things are sorted out, he just comes right back to his pile of boxes. By 10:30 a.m., the temperature was pushing nearly 100 degrees Fahrenheit. The oppressive heat had me dripping with sweat, dizzy and dangerously close to heat stroke. Yet Tyler was still standing out in the blazing sun, breaking down cardboard boxes without a pause. It was so brutally hot that even my camera overheated and shut down. To keep rolling, I had to hold a small portable fan right against the camera just to cool it down and keep us going.
这活爽吗？
人家不就干点别的活吗？
干别的活，晚上不是卖着啤酒了？哎，对，除了比上班自由点吧。中午都没吃过饭，要是没时间吃，要如果实在太饿了，往那坐吃顿泡面。
你早上吃饭没？
没。
早上不吃，一天都一顿饭。
都晚上嘛，晚上卖酒的时候吃点。喂，大爷，等一会儿吧，我把这装了，等个20。
Just then, one of Tyler's big clients called, telling him to head over for a pickup right away. Every morning, Tyler starts by collecting smaller batches of cardboard from individual shops. Once his truck bed is packed solid, he stacks another 2 meters on top. That's the only way he can maximize every single trip. Tyler's daily schedule is brutal and clockwork. He collects cardboard at this market from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. After 7, he hauls everything to the recycling depot to sell. Then, it's back home, a quick shower, fresh clothes, and by 9 p.m., he is heading out again to set up his beer stall, working straight through until 4 a.m. the next morning. That's nearly 20 hours of labor every single day.
下午还得往上录。
这些大概装了多少？有一半了。
有一半了，有一半了，差不多了，有一半了。
Once he gets going, eating is usually the last thing on his mind. As lunchtime approached, I decided to treat Tyler to a quick meal nearby and hopefully get him to open up about his painful marriage.
刺激不刺激？
这市场里面有吃饭的地吗？
有。你吃拉面还是吃啥？
都中。我请你吃饭。
我请你吃。这还可以咋呀？真是来到这了。我基本上中午都没吃过饭，我这饿了才吃。都这几个都这不打算饿。
不咋饿，你去吃啥饭了？
不是你得叫你吃啊。
Tyler is the kind of guy who never forgets a favor. He genuinely believed that filming this video would bring more customers to his recycling business. So he insisted, hard, on buying me lunch. The heartbreaking truth is, after a brutal full day of work, he makes only about 150 RMB, roughly $20 US.
这又是没钱斤。
一斤看他1.5毛。
那1000斤才挣150吗？1000斤挣150，你这活儿干着干啥这么累？一天150。
那你现在利润没那么高，这纸箱是花嘞。如果混着嘞，如果要是橙黄嘞，能卖到8、9毛，一斤能挣2、3毛。把车搁这儿吃饭。
不卖啤酒呢，真是没法生活呀，这是。
走。
By modern standards in China, even a modest, basic lunch could easily eat up a third of his daily earnings. There was no way I was going to let him pay. This lunch was on me.
2份菜。
1份都中了。
1份大份吧。
1份大份都。
你别付。
啊，那一共多少钱？
呀，你胡吃嘞。
交付。多少钱一共？39。
一个凉菜39。
交付老哥。
哎呀，你真是。
干这一天活不容易。这一天再请我吃饭。
中。这晚上请你吃饭。
To avoid spooking him right off the bat, we started the conversation with his early life story.
你最早的时候是干啥？你一开始都卖二手车，不是卖汽车吗？
不，从毕业都去工地上，给工地上干活的。是初中1年级毕业，给工地上干钢筋工，他一天只要6、7块钱。
60-70块钱。
6、7块钱。
6、7块钱。
嗯。
啥时候的事呀？那么早
？2002年嘛。
2002年。嗯。你们工地上干了几年？
干有5、6年。
5、6年呀。
中间得了一个甲亢，现在好了嘛？好了还得卖车嘛？2018年买的车。
卖车的时候，当时认识恁当时媳妇儿？
没卖车之前都结完婚了。
没卖车之前，那还小出来。
20岁结的婚。
卖车油也能结钱？
那也一个月能5万块钱嘛？
卖了几年车？
卖了4、5年。
后来因为啥不干？
那不是因为离婚吗？
干了4、5年，因为离婚不干。
The moment divorce came up, the smile completely faded from Tyler's face. Seeing that, I didn't have the heart to push any further. As for what really drove his marriage apart, I'll let Tyler's mother tell that story.
是你那个时候一头的事儿是19年，19年接触20年疫情，你知道啊？年呀那也是封城那个不叫外出疫情嘞。都是他去带着俩孩子走亲戚了。19年那春节过春节，我真的我小兵俩生意了没生意，还实际上他写的有那个女的，他媳妇都那个时候可能都出轨吧了，那时候出轨了，他不知道没发现。小飞不看手机不知道的也不发现，不操他心嘛，掉下来也不擦心，也不操他心嘛，光这么了，他不爱说话嘛。看着我寻思你没见文静静的一个人，谁能料到他这个呀？他都没一家年都没谁料到。小飞说那个时候他卖大货车嘛，他一月弄的钱都给他交着，要不是小飞买房，他说没钱了，就这一买房，他说钱来弄的钱来，他说那没你的钱来，他不看他手机吗？一看手机。才发现嘞，他压那起拖拉露头了，那时候光这么着两个人不吭劲，他又不吵架。2021年都是年头嘞，12月、11月呀，都跑到过年都没给家。这一回来是跟着这个挪到这院的，挪到那个院的，他回来了，这出去跑2年，这回来了，一回来。我这回来，我都说我这你看兰兰，你既然回来了，咱都换片儿，俺啥都依着他呀，俺没有他结婚这跟俺跟着俺10年，俺没有就是俺没有生一回气，一回气都没生过。要给他一回来，他说他没钱，小飞那几个月干的钱都给他了，他知道他走时候他不知道他咋给你来账。他又还得用俺的钱花的账，10月的回来了，他姐又给他找了活，找了一个那上班1月6000块钱，干着这过了年，腊月20，我一打电话不接，打3次才接住，我说来了你搁哪里？我出来了，我说你出来你能不回来？你是哪里了？我出去打工去了，我给车上坐着嘞，就说那些。就说那些都关你了，拉黑了，都关你了，再打不通了。
这都又走了。
都又走了。
从那到现在都没有。
对了，从那到现在都没回来。
The first time she cheated, Tyler chose to forgive, solely for the sake of their 2 kids. But when the betrayal happened again, it cut too deep. The second affair was the absolute last straw. Tyler couldn't take it anymore.
跟其他男人跑了，说出来丢人，你去找他干啥？还不是当做没有人。这人真丢人，也不是说咱这男人没有成才把你留住吧，你最起码离婚归离婚，但是你不能跟其他男人跑，这一点是死的。离婚了，那么你再找一种，就是第一点不能不吭不哈的跟人家跑了，
太过分了，
这都太过分了。哎呀，你想啊，
没有，
俺闺女都恨得很。俺闺女跑的时候10岁，正常学习正需要她的时候，跟其他男人跑了，把俺这一家害得不轻。
离婚的时候那孩儿还小着嘞。
小着嘞，离婚的时候小孩才7、8岁。他一中间联系我见小孩来，我说你哪远死哪儿去？不可能让你见。他跟俺小联系，跟小联系。我跟小说的。我说你跟他联系，当时你小的时候 都把你抛弃了，都不要你了，你还跟他联系干啥呀？
还给他钱吗？
一回，俺小跟他要钱，一回就给20块钱，20块钱够他干啥了呀？我说这20块钱你还借啊？你都能拿掉出息了。
再说这俩孩钱够花不够花？
省了点够，不省的话，不想能。你想看这，光买那资料，光买资料，方便之前光买资料都7、800块钱。
With lunch over, there was no time to rest. Tyler rushed right back to the market to get back to his mountain of cardboard.
咦，这是几个还立秋嘞，要不是那几天37、8度那时候，叫你一待你都不想待。哎，给我吹又不用。你给我吹身上这个衣裳现在里边是臭的，你知道吗？里边湿了。
Despite the deep scars from his divorce, and despite working 2 jobs just to keep his 2 kids fed, Tyler still greets every single day with a genuine smile. On the job, he's warm and upbeat, laughing with shopkeepers as he works. You'd never guess the weight he carries or the pain he's been through. Interestingly, the guy who ran this very recycling route before Tyler shared a strikingly similar story. Working completely on his own, he single-handedly raised 3 grandkids and put every single one of them through college on scrap money. A true neighborhood legend.
1年4季不停的事。但你承包之前这个是别人承包的吗？
对，别人承包了。
那个人咋不干了？
老头干不动了，已经进坟墓了。哎，听说他是承包这个市场，供他3个孩子上大学，供他3个。他那时候承包的时候，这废品正好价格高，价格贵，他挣点交钱。
挣了点钱。
我是没赶到好时候，有点自由。其实也不承包这个市场，按说自由也不自由，你都得天天来，只要不刮风不下雨，你都得来。你不来，我这儿给你打电话，那个给你打电话，打来。
When Tyler first took over this route, his schedule was pretty flexible, giving him time to spend with his kids. But as his reputation grew, more and more shopkeepers started relying on him. Now, unless it's pouring rain, he has to stay glued to this market full time. If he's not around, he risks losing clients to someone else. This is his last pickup of the day, not because his truck is full, but because he's literally running out of time. At 6:30 p.m., over the next hour and a half, he has to stack everything tight, lash it down, and haul it all to the scrapyard. Because by 9 p.m. sharp, he needs to be at his spot, ready for shift number 2. In the end, Tyler managed to stack the cardboard into a towering, inverted pyramid. This single load weighs around 500 kilograms, bringing in a net profit of roughly 150 to 200 RMB, about 25 to 30 US dollars. The profit fluctuates because prices vary from one recycling depot to another. On top of that, cardboard is a high fire, hazard item, and recent fire safety crackdowns have forced many of these depots to shut down. So, before heading out every single time, Tyler makes the rounds on his phone, comparing prices at different scrap yards, just to scrape together every extra cent.
喂，管去不管？中，那我去还去离集合卖吧。趁我打包站都没地方使。
差多少？差几分钱吗？
差个1、2分嘛，差2分。以前您都20了，一包烟钱嘛。
1分就20。
Stacked 2 meters high, the cardboard towers over his truck like a mountain. The overlapping sheets hang overhead, much like the heavy weight of life pressing down on Tyler's shoulders, leaving him barely able to stand straight. Every single sheet in this overflowing load was stacked, layer by layer by his own hands. But this heavy load behind him is what carries his 2 children through school and toward a better future. To stay under the radar of code enforcement, these scrap yards are tucked away in hidden spots. You have to weave through narrow roads on the city outskirts and pass through several villages just to reach them. Once there, Tyler drives his trike onto the truck scale to weigh in, then pulls up to the designated drop zone. A forklift then moves in, pushing down the mountain of stacked cardboard in one big sweep. Tyler knows every single scrapyard in the area inside out, and he has this whole routine down to a science.
拍视频呢？
哪呢？
拍抖音呢？
你拍抖音啊？啥意思啊？这个？
我是靠当网红的。
By 8 p.m., Tyler finishes unloading at the scrapyard, settles the payment, and weaves his tricycle through rugged back alleyways toward home. He needs to shower quickly and change clothes for his second job of the day. As exhausting and overwhelming as life gets, Tyler finds comfort in one thing. His daughter constantly ranks at the very top of her class.
那煮了？那煮到哪儿了？
The moment you step into his house, the walls are covered in award certificates. Tyler's mother couldn't wait to pull out even more of his daughter's school honors, proudly showing them to me one by one.
对不对？这个他家里叠的还那个那奖杯那个奖牌，那奖牌，这都是的。
每一年都评你奖状啊？
一年几个嘞？
一年好几个啊？
一年俩吧，一年俩仨反正。
分衣服。
学习全给这公在学习时候，给这公在时候是第一名。第一名，这一到古营进见能生，他才排50多名。你看他画这画可好啊，小可画的，这都是他画的，对，这都是他的，这都是他画的，这都是上3年级时候、5年级时候画的。
On top of her academics, Tyler's daughter loves to draw. Her grandmother's phone is packed with photos of her artwork.
你看这，你看这，你看。
爱欣赏纯粹喜欢画画的人。
你看，这都是，这他老师都是发整的，他都2022年的，看。他画的画干净清亮，等他画那年那1.5米哈。他的老师清晰度好，他老师都说他清晰度不是1.5米。
Just as Tyler finished showering and changing, his 2 kids walked through the door. Before I even had a chance to say hello to them, I was bundled onto the back of his trike. We took off immediately toward his night market spot. If we got there too late, all the prime locations would be taken. These are Tyler's 2 kids, one in 8th grade, the other in 6th. All summer long, they've been coming along to help their dad out at the stall. His setup is a custom-built mobile beer cart. Inside, a built-in fridge packed with beer runs off 2 heavy-duty storage batteries. On the side of the rig, he's installed a row of draft taps. In China today, beer preferences are shifting rapidly from mass-produced commercial lagers to craft beer. Street stalls serving craft beer on tap offer incredible value, paving the way for this booming mobile craft beer scene.
周一到礼拜1到礼拜4能卖几杯？
周一一天能卖300-400块钱。
情况差了点的时候。
情况差了一天100-200块钱。
他这个有50的毛利没有？
对半儿，
也能挣个100-200块钱。
啊，也就挣个200-300块钱吧，就是卖400块钱，卖400块钱挣200块钱。
Tyler chose the beer business mainly because it requires 0 daytime prep. Every afternoon, his father goes to the brewery to pick up fresh draft beer, so all Tyler has to do at night is show up and sell. Tyler is on great terms with the surrounding food stall vendors. He frequently treats them to free draft beers, and in return, whenever his kids are around, they can eat whatever they crave from any stall completely on the house.
都是那街坊。
那俩还吃啥呀？鸡蛋灌饼是不是？给他俩弄俩鸡蛋灌饼。
Tyler's daughter is bright and outgoing. When Tyler leaves to deliver beers, she's perfectly happy holding down the fort, chatting with customers and making sales. His son, on the other hand, is a bit withdrawn. A quiet kid who keeps to himself and rarely says a word. By 11 p.m., it's time for the kids to head home for bed. But for Tyler and his fellow vendors, the night is far from over. They pack up their stalls and relocate to a second spot, because that's where the real night crowd gathers, the liveliest street around.
这2块地儿是啥情况？
那个地方超过10点都没人了。
那为啥不早点来这个地方？
早点城管不让出。
这个地方几点让出
？11点。
11点才不念。这一块能这摊儿能持续到几点？
持续到凌晨4点到5点。
都是这个状态。
对。
Just 2 months ago, before dusk even fell, this street was packed with vendors. But as crowds grew and traffic ground to a halt, local authorities slapped a total ban on street vending. Setting up at 11 p.m. isn't an official policy. It's simply when the inspectors go off the clock. Months of brutal physical labor and sleep deprivation have taken a heavy toll on Tyler. His eyes are bloodshot, heavy with fatigue. But Tyler has no choice. He has to keep grinding. His children, as future is the only thing keeping him going. Around 3 o'clock or 4 a.m., Tyler cracks open his remaining draft beers. He and a few close vendors pull whatever unsold food they have left for a late-night bite. Knowing his grueling daily schedule, his friends constantly urge him to get some rest. Seeing them sharing a warm laugh, I decided to push our sit-down interview to the next day, and during that next day's conversation, we uncovered an even darker truth. Tyler's ex-wife was hooked on gambling and had even withdrawn their children as school tuition to take the money and run.
给小孩报的那个班画画班，他去把钱退了，拿着钱跑了。
有和我一样的吗？穿着一般，
是他吗？
是嘞，是嘞。
The full interview is now live for our channel members. Your support makes it possible for us to keep telling the real, untold stories of ordinary people across China. I am Tommy. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.